Hey everyone, my name is Ajay and today we are going to discuss about Terraform Cloud introduction, which will include your Terraform installation on Windows, and we will talk about Terraform Cloud features, pricing, and end up this session with a small lab on Azure. If you visit terraform.io under the additions, you see there are three types of additions available. One is going to be the Terraform CLI, where you are going to download the open source software on your machine, and you can build your infrastructure basically. The second option is going to be Terraform Cloud. In that case, your local machine, it will just act as a backend. You can execute all those codes from your machine, but ultimately they are going to be run on the cloud. Sometimes this cloud edition will have DevOps functionality like CI/CD, which can integrate with GitHub, Azure DevOps, GitLab, etc. And then the third edition is going to be the Terraform Enterprise. If you are worried about compliance, if you're a big organization where you need to fulfill the compliance requirement, then definitely you go for the Enterprise edition. Let's take a look on Terraform Cloud pricing. So there's a free edition available and up to 5 users can be accommodated here. And here these are going to be the offering. You get the state management, remote operations, private module registry. If you have a big team, then you can go for this option as well, where you get the team management options. If you want to use this for a big organization, then go for the business. So let's take a look on installation options. So there are options for Mac OS, Windows, Linux, FreeBSD, OpenBSD, Solaris. However, in this lab, we are going to focus on Windows only. So if you click on the Windows, you are still going to see two options. One is going to be for 386 and another one is going to be for AMD. So this is Intel. The machine which I'm running is running the Intel processor. So this is the download option I'm going to choose. Let me show you the option why I have decided to go for Intel image. So if you go to the My PC, go to the right click and properties, and here you can see this is the processor I'm using. So based on what is the CPU, whether it comes from Intel or it comes from AMD, on your machine, you need to choose the appropriate image. The file I downloaded, it is in my desktop inside a folder which is Terraform 139 Windows 386. This is the exe file. And after downloading, let's see whether the system is going to recognize it or not. So if I go to the PowerShell and I put a command, which is going to be the Terraform hyphen version, it is not able to recognize, and that is expected also. But from command prompt, if I go to the same folder while switching the directory from my username to CD, desktop, and then Terraform, where my exe file is there, it is able to recognize it. So if you still want to run some code from the same directory, it will still work. However, if you switch back to the directory, it is not going to recognize. Same thing you can see here. Even if I go back to the same directory, PowerShell is not able to recognize it. So what we need to do, we need to make a small tweak, which is going to set the environmental variables. In search bar, basically you can type environmental variable. It is going to pop up the system property. And then here under this section, which is going to be the environment variables, you can click here and you are going to get this page. And you need to edit path, which is user variable, and you need to edit path, which is system variable, this as well. So while choosing path on previous screen, go to the edit and you are going to see this window. Here what you need to do, just go to the new, and the moment you say new, you can browse the location of the file. So my file resides under Terraform 139. That's exactly what you see here. And then you can click OK. Then you go to the system variable. You need to do the same exercise. Click on the new and specify the location where is your terraform.exe, and then you can click OK. Now it's time to test whether system is able to recognize Terraform or not based on the variable we have set. So whether you go for the PowerShell or you go for the command prompt, no matter in which directory you are, if you're going to run Terraform -version, it is going to give you this output, and the output is same for both. It means the variable which we set up, it works. Now we are going to try how to use Terraform Cloud. It's the same website which you can see. Click on Terraform, try Terraform Cloud. The moment you click on try Terraform Cloud, it is going to ask you for a sign up. So you need to create an account on Cloud Portal. Once you're done with the sign up, it is going to give you a welcome message. Welcome to Terraform Cloud. And here we are going to set up things from scratch. The first thing you need to do, create a organization. So this is my organization. You need to give a email address. This is my personal email address I have given, and click here on create organization. Now there are three options. This is a version control workflow. As I mentioned earlier, you can use or tie it up with GitHub like repository to control your software versions. And then the second option is going to be the API driven workflow. And in this video, I'm going to talk about CLI driven workflow. After creating the organization, it is going to ask you to create a workspace. So workspace is something like that. You have organization, and under that organization, you might have three different environments which you want to manage separately. So one can be prod, another one can be non-prod, one can be staging. So that kind of flexibility you are going to get here. So I'm putting my workspace name as iFlex WS, which means workspace, and project name is going to be the default projects. However, if you want to create a new project, that is the option with you. Now you're going to create a workspace. Once your workspace is ready, you can see there is one sample file or example code. That is something you need to put while you trigger a remote execution. That means it is going to tell the code which you are going to run, it is going to run for this organization, and the workspace is going to be which is mentioned by you. Since we have created one, this is just an example code. There is one more stuff which you need to perform in your local machine from where you are running the Terraform. That is my local machine, which you see. You need to trigger this command, which is going to be Terraform login. That means it is going to connect with the cloud portal of Terraform. Please pay attention. What I mean to say, it is going to connect to Terraform Cloud, not to the public cloud provider. It means whatever we were setting up so far, we were making the organization, we were making the workspace, everything was on the Terraform Cloud portal. And the CLI, what you see, this is running on my local machine. So somehow I need to connect it to the cloud portal so it can take all the instructions which you give from CLI on the local machine. And the moment you say yes, it is going to pop up a window and going to redirect you to the Terraform Cloud where it is going to ask you for sign in. The moment you do the sign in, you can create an API token, and this token you can copy from here and then you say done. Once the API token you have generated, you are going to pass to the PowerShell. It is going to give you this message, welcome to Terraform Cloud. It means the connectivity from your local machine to your Terraform Cloud is successfully established. So far, we have a connectivity established from my local machine to Terraform Cloud. However, while provisioning any of the resources on the public cloud, whether it's Azure or AWS or maybe the GCP, you need to have some sort of connectivity and authentication method set up in between Terraform Cloud and other service provider. So here, that's exactly what we are going to do. Since my lab is based on the Azure, so you need to create a Azure service principal. It means that is how you are going to authenticate your Terraform Cloud to Azure. So here what we are going to do, we are going to create a My App. It is a registration process basically to generate the credentials. I have done it from CLI. You can do it from GUI also. So AZ AD create for RBAC -n My App. This is the app which you are going to create. And after creating My App, you need to give at least a contributor permissions to this app. All the secret keys generated while setting up My App, you need to give it under the variable, which you can see here. So you need to provide ARM client ID, subscription ID, tenant ID, and client secret. That is how it is going to authenticate while creating any of the resource on Azure. I have a Visual Studio Code running on the same Windows machine where I have this Terraform exe. So now if I go and install the Terraform extension, which you can do it by yourself, and then create main.tf. And in main.tf, what I'm going to do here, this is the example code which we have taken from terraform.io, paste as it is. This is my organization, this is my workspace, and if you're going to run Terraform init, it is going to initialize, and you can see Terraform Cloud has been successfully initialized. A small difference which you can see here, while I was doing this lab, I had created another workspace which is terraform.azure. So it doesn't matter to you which workspace you're working, you can work on any of the workspace basically. Now in main.tf, I have to give my script. So my provider is going to be Azure RM Resource Manager. And this is the resource group I'm going to create, which is going to be ECUS. And then I'm going to create a virtual network with this address. And now I need to do Terraform init and Terraform apply. Before that, I ran a command Terraform plan, which is going to tell what it is going to add exactly to your resources. With Terraform plan, you can review how exactly your configuration will look like. So here you can see it is going to create one resource group, and then it is going to add a virtual network, and all the signs are going to be plus plus plus. It means it is going to add two resources. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.